to elope in Big Sur.
Hey everyone, it's Janessa from Simply Eloped. This week I am talking about something I'm very excited about, how to elope in Big Sur. Big Sur is a really lovely place. If you've never been there, it's on the coast, Highway 1. Monterey is stunning. There's ocean, cliff sides, and redwood trees. I mean, come on. It is an amazing place. We're gonna get a little bit creative on how to approach this. The first thing that I would decide when planning your elopement in Big Sur is your guest count. The reason for that is you're gonna feel really, really restricted by the types of places that you can elope in Big Sur because there's just not that many venues that can supply accommodations for large groups of people. So if you're wanting to have a larger ceremony, I don't know if Big Sur is for you. So whether you're thinking about 4 guests or 40 guests, I would just get super intentional about how many guests that you're gonna have prior to looking for the venue of your dreams. So once you determine your guest count, start shopping around. There are so many beautiful places that you can elope. 2 of my personal favorite ones are Glen Oaks in Big Sur, as well as Carmel River State Beach. They're amazing. So once you figured out your guest count and your venue, you can start making some really big decisions. So make sure you book your venue or your reservation site, and just so you know, it's not confirmed until you've got a signed terms of agreement or contract or a permit in your possession. Now it's time to get crazy. Now that you know how many guests and how much your venue is going to cost, I would take a really, really close look at your budget, because how much you spend on your venue is going to determine how much money you've got left over for things like an officiant, photographer, flowers, catering, etc. So I would recommend you get with your honey and just decide how much you can realistically spend on your elopement or ceremony. Now that you've got all these details locked in, it's time to start hiring your vendors. Now, it might be that some of your friends or family can supply some of those services, such as being an officiant or being a photographer, but if you're hiring locally, I always recommend that you book a package over individual services, unless there's someone that you just absolutely love. You're just gonna save a lot of money by bundling it together. In regards to your venue, I would recommend that you read the fine print and just get super, super granular about the restrictions that the venue's placing on you. It might be that you can't have chairs, can't have certain types of decor, or can't bring alcohol, glass. So I would just recommend that you get really, really granular with those terms of agreement so that you're not breaking any rules and or getting fined. Now that you've got your date, venue, time, all that jazz locked in, it's time to book your trip. So I recommend booking as far in advance as you can so that you can get the flight times, the hotel, the car rental, everything locked and loaded at really amazing rates, and hopefully ones that you're really excited about. So just make sure that you get those things done way in advance to your trip. Don't forget, your wedding is an event. And you shouldn't just be planning the ceremony and reception. You should be planning the activities leading up to and the celebration afterwards. So I really, really recommend getting mindful about the types of things you want to do, be it a hike or a day on the beach or just a drive in a convertible on Highway 1. Just make sure that you're planning those activities prior so that you've built the time in and you can invite people if you want. Now we're gonna get super granular. The state of California has some very large restrictions around marriage licenses, so listen up. First and foremost, every single county has different rules and guidelines for getting their marriage licenses, and it's kind of a crazy world right now. A lot of city halls are closed, so I recommend calling the city hall, the city clerk, wherever you plan on getting your marriage license prior to going, just to make sure that they're open, they're accepting applications, and you need to plan accordingly as to whether you're going in person or applying virtually. So give them a call before you go. Good news, in the state of California, you don't have to get a marriage license in the same place that you hold your ceremony. So if you're traveling through California and you want to get your marriage license one place and hold your ceremony in another, that is A-OK. Marriage license costs will vary by county. So for instance, it's $60 in San Diego and $110 in San Francisco. So in that phone call to the city clerk, I would just ask them how much it's gonna cost you so that you can plan for that cost in your budget. State of California does require one witness for your ceremony. Our photographer can act as that witness, so we got you covered. And there is a 90-day window between getting your marriage license and performing your ceremony that you must enact upon. If that window passes, you're gonna have to get a whole new marriage license. Okay, well, those are all my tips on getting married, having an elopement or a small ceremony in Big Sur. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you next week for my tip of the week.